Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're
Us.
diving into data and AI and how businesses are using it, not just for efficiency,
Hmm.
but for growth.
Yeah.
Our guide today is an MIT Technology Review Insights report. It's called Building a Powerful Data and AI Organization. And it's sponsored by Databricks.
Okay.
It features a survey of over 350 CDOs, CAOs, CIOs, and other tech decision makers,
Uh-huh.
plus in-depth interviews with top data and analytics executives. We're going to uncover what separates the 13% of organizations that are excelling with their data strategies. They're called the high achievers, and we'll examine why initiatives like cloud adoption
Hmm.
and a focus on open source solutions are critical for thriving in the data-driven world.
This report really shows how the role of data is changing in organizations, for example. One of the key takeaways is that companies are using data to fuel their top business goals.
Interesting.
Over the next 2 years, 45% of companies are prioritizing using data to increase their sales and service channels. 43% are aiming to boost operational efficiency, and 42% are focusing on enhancing innovation and speed to market.
So it's not just about crunching numbers
Yeah.
in the back office anymore. Data is becoming a frontline tool
Right.
for driving revenue and gaining a competitive edge.
Yeah.
But this shift comes with challenges, as the report highlights. Organizations are facing a complex data landscape
Huh.
with legacy systems, data silos, and multiple cloud providers.
Whereas not of companies are struggling to manage the sheer volume and variety of data they have. And it's interesting because the report identifies a disconnect
Hmm.
between the excitement around data
Yeah.
and the ability to use it effectively. The potential is there,
Right.
but harnessing it requires a new approach to data architecture.
And how do we navigate this complexity?
That's where Databricks comes in, with their perspective on the lakehouse.
Okay, tell me more about this lakehouse architecture. What is it and why is it causing such a buzz?
Well, think of a lakehouse as combining the best of both worlds. It brings together the structured reliability of a data warehouse
Yeah.
with the flexibility and scale of a data lake. This hybrid approach makes it a powerful platform for handling diverse data applications like real-time streaming, batch processing, and machine learning, all within a single unified system.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
Yeah.
So is this lakehouse approach what's driving success
Yeah.
of those high achievers in the report?
Yeah.
13% who are knocking it out of the park
Yeah.
with their data strategies.
Absolutely. These high achievers stand out in a few ways. First, they prioritize cloud-native platforms for their data infrastructure. They recognize the flexibility and scalability that the cloud offers.
Okay.
They also excel at data management fundamentals. It's not just about having the technology. It's about ensuring data quality, accessibility, and efficient processing. And finally, they see measurable business results across multiple departments. This contrasts with the 12% categorized as low achievers who struggle to gain traction despite their investments.
It seems like the high achievers have figured out how to connect data infrastructure and data science with business outcomes. But what specific initiatives are they prioritizing? What's on the roadmap for the next couple of years?
The report outlines some key initiatives for the next 2 years. Improving data quality and processing is at the top of the list. Enhancing data analytics capabilities and expanding machine learning applications are close behind. And there's a strong emphasis on increasing cloud platform adoption and using more streaming and unstructured data. These are all areas where high achievers are focusing their efforts to gain a competitive advantage. It's clear that organizations are recognizing the need to evolve their data strategies. But as the report highlights, there are still big challenges when it comes to scaling those initiatives.
You touched on some of those challenges earlier, like legacy systems
Yeah.
and the complexities of managing data across multiple cloud environments. It seems like companies are still struggling to find a way to scale their data efforts effectively.
Yeah. One of the biggest obstacles is the lack of a centralized location for storing and discovering machine learning models.
So you're saying it's like having a library full of valuable insights,
Yeah.
but no way to find the information you need.
Exactly. The report found that 55% of respondents said this was a significant challenge.
That sounds incredibly frustrating. So much potential wasted because the right information can't be found.
It is.
Are there other roadblocks that companies are hitting when they try to scale their data efforts?
Absolutely. Another major hurdle is the disconnect between data science and production environments. The report actually points to multiple deployments and error-prone handoffs between data science and production as a barrier to scaling machine learning effectively.
So you can have the most brilliant data scientists developing cutting-edge models.
Yeah.
But if those models can't be integrated into the business processes, their impact will be limited.
Exactly. And then there's the challenge everyone's talking about, the skills gap.
Oh, the skills gap.
Finding and retaining people with the expertise to build and deploy these solutions is a real struggle. The report found that 39% of respondents cited a lack of machine learning expertise as a major obstacle to scaling their efforts.
So like a perfect storm of challenges, complexity,
Right.
lack of integration, and a shortage of talent.
It is.
That's a daunting picture.
Yeah.
For organizations trying to scale their data initiatives, are there any companies successfully navigating these challenges? Does the report offer any solutions or best practices?
The report does highlight some compelling examples of companies making significant strides in scaling their data efforts.
Look who?
Well, Nielsen, a company that's been data-driven for over a century, recently went through a major data transformation. They migrated to a cloud-based data lake and streamlined their data management practices.
And what was the impact to that? Did they see a return on their investment?
The results were impressive. They significantly reduced data silos, improved data quality, and increased their speed of analysis. This allowed them to launch new products and leverage the data they collect in new ways.
That's a great example of how modernizing data management can pay off.
It really is, even for a company with a history of working with data.
Right. It reinforces the idea that data management is not a one-time project, but an ongoing process.
Exactly.
So is the lakehouse architecture a potential solution for some of these scaling challenges? Could it help simplify the data landscape? Could it bridge the gap between data science and production?
The report does present the lakehouse architecture as a potential solution for a lot of these challenges. By unifying data warehousing and data lake capabilities, it offers a simplified but powerful platform for managing all these data workloads. This can help streamline data pipelines and improve collaboration between teams.
And one thing that's interesting about the lakehouse approach is its emphasis on open source standards. We touched on this earlier, but it seems like a crucial aspect of building a flexible and future-proof data architecture.
Absolutely. This commitment to open source standards shows a desire for greater interoperability and avoiding vendor lock-in, which gives organizations more control over their data infrastructure. It lets them choose the best tools for their specific needs.
So we've talked a lot about the technical side of things, infrastructure, architectures, scaling challenges. But what about the human element? How are companies approaching the cultural shifts needed to become data-driven?
That's a crucial aspect that the report explores. It's not enough to just have a team of data experts working in isolation to unlock the power of data. Organizations need to empower everyone to understand and utilize data effectively.
So this concept of data democratization is becoming increasingly important.
Yes, it is.
Data democratization sounds like breaking down silos and fostering a more collaborative approach to data analysis.
That's right.
But how are companies implementing this in practice? Are there strategies or initiatives that are working? So data democratization is about giving everyone the power to use data effectively. Are there companies actually doing this well?
Absolutely. CVS Health is a great example. They've been using data science to improve how people take their medications, but they realized a siloed approach wasn't working.
So what do they do?
They started integrating data scientists directly into their operational units, and they gave end users self-service analytics tools.
So they're bringing the experts closer to where decisions are being made.
Right, and giving people the tools to analyze the data themselves.
What kind of impact does that have?
It's been a huge change. It's not only improved their decision-making, but it's also created a stronger data culture. Employees at CVS Health are more engaged with the data now. They're asking better questions and coming up with new solutions.
That makes sense. If people are empowered to work with data, they're more likely to see its value. But what about trust? You can give people the tools, but if they don't trust the data, they won't use it.
That's a good point. The report talks about building trust in data, and it needs to be a multifaceted approach.
So what does that look like?
Well, data quality is the most important thing. You need clear data governance processes.
Yeah.
And you have to be transparent about how you're using the data.
Transparency and communication are key. You have to make sure people understand where the data comes from, how it's collected, and how it's used.
Exactly. And that brings us to the idea of pushing data all the way to the edge.
What does that mean?
It means giving the people on the front lines, the people closest to the customer, the people closest to the product, the data insights they need.
So data isn't just for executives or data scientists. Everyone in the organization can benefit from it.
Exactly. When you empower the front lines with data, You can improve customer experience, optimize operations, and encourage innovation.
This has been a really insightful deep dive. We've gone from data management challenges to the cultural shifts needed to become data-driven.
I think the key takeaway here is that data is more than just numbers. It's about people, insights, and making better decisions.
I highly recommend this MIT Technology Review Insights report. It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to build a powerful data and AI organization.
And don't forget to subscribe to Le Podcast de Philippe on YouTube to help us reach 1,000 subscribers today. On vous résume ce document du MIT aujourd'hui dans les grandes lignes.
As we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with this thought. How will you embrace the data revolution? Will you be a passive observer? Or will you actively shape the future of your business and your career in a data-driven world?
The choice is yours. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the world of data and AI.